Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts. Hello everybody and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where my friends make me watch anime that confuses me. I am Bill and this is Matt. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm tired. It's been a year.
Yeah,
Finally.
it's only February.
Yep, it sure is.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, it's been okay. We're recording pretty late in the week because scheduling is fun like that sometimes, but
Hmm, for sure. Um, I started watching your recommendation. I
oh yeah,
got through
yeah.
season one.
What's
I'm
the
enjoying it so far, but it's the most slice of life that has ever slice of life.
It very much is, and that's kind of why it's fun.
It's like it's easily the most slice of life that I've watched out of all the slice of life shows I've watched. Because
It's
there's no like
basic,
supernatural element. It's
yeah,
not like crazy and bombastic like Kaguya or Komi. Like it's just there's no action like Spy Family. It's literally just a bunch of high school kids.
yeah. It definitely is. Um, I like the main character though. She's kind of relatable
Yeah, I mean she kind of like in a way reminds me of a combination of like Komi and Toru.
to a degree. For those who don't know, that the anime is Kimi ni Todoke from Here to You. Um, because Matt got the easiest assignment, so we've just given him multiple now.
Yeah, I decided to just have one from each of the participants because between Alex having to watch DBZ and you having to watch Attack on Titan, I was definitely it definitely felt like I was cheating you guys. So
I mean, Slade had a pretty easy one too.
yeah, his was only like 25, 24, 25, something
I
like
don't know if
that.
he, I don't know if he's even watched that yet.
Which I mean, even then, it's not that much more. But I mean, I also told him not to because the season two is bad.
Yeah, yeah. Now the main characters in Kimi ni Todoke is fun though. She's got that like
Yeah,
she's not quite socially inept like Komi is, but she's just kind of awkward.
yeah. She just comes off like apparently the girl from The Ring.
I mean, she's good at making the face,
Yeah, that's true.
and she doesn't realize she's doing it half the time.
Hmm. Well, I've been keeping up with all the ongoings. I'm pretty sure I'm still caught up with everything, unless something's come out since Friday. Um,
I will say the one thing about Kimi ni Todoke though, watching it again is when you watch that first season, it is one of the most infuriating cases of just fucking kiss already.
yeah, especially since like he like super early on, he's like asks her out like on like a boyfriend girlfriend thing,
He's
and
into
she's
her
like, "Oh
from
no, I
episode.
could never."
He's into her from episode one. It's
For
one
real.
of the most like. I mean, thankfully, it's fun because by season three, you actually get to see what happens after the big conclusion, unlike most of these animes, which just stop caring after the big conclusion.
Yeah. Still waiting on Kaguya season four.
And Komi season two, and a
Yeah,
lot of
well,
things.
I feel like Kaguya season four is more likely than Komi season two at this point,
Yeah, probably.
which is
Uh,
disappointing because I was really vibing with Komi, and I was hoping there was going to be more, but
well, especially because there's like it's not even like a problem with having material to work with because the series is done. Like there's plenty of material.
hmm,
I mean, Kage is done as well. All the
yeah,
big shows are done.
yeah, it's pretty weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because my dress up darling just ended too.
Oh, so before I dive into like how is it going so far, um, with the big Attack on Titan episode that we're planning for when you finish.
Yes.
Obviously, because Slade and Jared are both people we want to have on, that scheduling is going to be a little bit more difficult. Um, how far? Like, how much time do I have? Basically, like, do I have time to rewatch the series? Because I want to rewatch the series before we do that.
Well, it depends on how fast you think you can watch it. Because I'm currently, as of right now, I am watching the OVAs. I just started No Regrets.
Hmm.
Um, so I got to watch that, and then the Lost Girls. Then I'm jumping right into season 4.
Hmm.
But I'm not really able to watch during the week just because my time is pretty all over the place during the week. So
Yeah.
it's kind of dependent on how much I can get done in a weekend. So you probably have at least a couple weeks.
Okay. Well, I mean, also like from the point of view finishing to like when can we get people from 3 different time zones together at once, kind of thing.
Well, we'll start the we'll start planning as soon as I finish. That's when I'll reach out and we'll begin the
All right.
planning process.
So I have at least 2-3 weeks. I have plenty of time
Yeah. I mean,
because
Alex wants
I
me to
just want to
rewatch it
finish.
too.
I just want to finish Kimi Todoke, and then I'm just gonna dive right in.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully season 2 and 3 of Kimi ni Todoke are both shorter than season 1. So,
Yeah, season 2 is just 12 episodes, and season 3 is just like it was like 5 or 6 hour long episodes.
it's 5 hour long episodes. The 6th episode is like a recap.
Yeah. Okay. So
Um,
yeah, that'll go quick.
yeah. It's yeah, you probably have time. I mean, because you probably don't have to rewatch all the OVAs and stuff. I mean, you probably will, but
I probably will. Yeah.
I mean, I will admit the first set of 3 is kind of useless. I'm not gonna lie.
I do have the benefit though of at least through 4 part 1. I have my DVD rips, and
Yeah.
those go by the marathon play. So it's like
Marathon play has been
6, 7 episodes, just as like I'll get like the one opening, and then it'll just play all 6 episodes, and then get the ending. So
I just have a strong suspicion once the when we do record the big GNC, it's not gonna go the way everyone's expecting.
to be honest, I kind of had a feeling that that was going to end up being the case. Like, especially since it took us like fucking 2 years to convince you to start it.
Yeah, and
But
I'm not gonna lie. Slade dropping that good ending thing really fucked with me.
yeah.
'Cause I was like,
um,
I was like, excuse me.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I still think, regardless of like your gut feeling on it, uh, by the end, I still think you will acknowledge the quality of writing with this series,
I mean,
regardless.
I'll say it keeps you interested. I stand 100% by what I said in the last episode of GNC we recorded when Alex asked me, "Do I even like the show?" My confused response of "I don't know." That's
Yeah.
100% genuine because I legit have no idea what my thoughts on this show are at the moment, and I'm gonna have to wait for season 4 to truly have thoughts. But
Well, that's
I'm
why, like, a part of me, honestly, like, I understand why you wanted to wait until it was done and just go through it, but I feel like you kind of lost something by doing that. There's something to be said for like the shared community of just we need to get like all the theorizing and everything else about what, you know what I mean? Like that was a big part of the hype for it was theorizing and trying to figure out that all the different things, and yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, when it was coming out, the majority of that time I just wasn't really watching anime as much as I am now.
Hmm.
So I never would have been able to keep up with it the same way.
I gotcha.
And that was during the night shift days, and honestly, that would have been a horrible show for me to watch during that era.
Well, I mean, to be fair, at the point where we were doing night shift, I don't even know if season 3 was out, so it wouldn't have been that much to get through.
True, but I inherently wasn't super interested in it at the time, anyways.
Fair.
There was too much hype. That was the problem.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Um,
we'll see. There's definitely been moments though where I'm pretty sure I'm gonna piss Slade off when I say my thoughts,
yeah, that's fair.
like the death of Levi's team.
Well, at this point, if he's been following along, he's already heard your thoughts on that.
The fact that I thought it was funny. I'm sorry, when they cut to the girl's face just smashed against the tree, and I was just like, eh. Just the way she
Well,
was posed.
let's be real. Like she should have been way more fucked up from that than she was. Like she just like it looked like she just had a bloody nose and she was just against the tree. Like
Well,
she
her
should
neck
have
was
been.
definitely
She should have.
snapped.
She should have been pulp.
Well, what made it even better was when Levi has to throw them all off the cart. She's the one that they show rolling down the hill, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, there shouldn't be enough body left to tie it up like that in the first place. Like just based on the way that she got stomped, like there's no fucking way.
Well, I had to point like I'm 100% serious that like I did not care about any of the deaths until the old guard from like very early in the series when he died.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the first one where I was legitimately sad.
Yeah.
Then
Think
when
about the like what about the fucking crazy reveal in that scene where it's just like, oh yeah, he can control Titans.
yeah, that was weird too. Well, actually, I was more fucked up by the reveal that the fucking Smiling Titan was. Spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen Attack on Titan. The reveal that the Smiling Titan was actually Aaron's dad's first wife.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that fucked me up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
And then just like the really fucked up thing is when she's just like, "Oh, don't worry, dear. Even as a Titan, I'll find you." And then she goes to his house and eats his second wife.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's fucking wild. Fucking wild.
I will say that the true story.
Surprise Nazis.
Oh yeah, that whole thing. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what even? I'm like, did I? It was like the Scott the Woz meme where I was like, did I miss a page? Like,
yeah, right. It's just like when you get that moment, it's like, oh, we're doing Nazis. Okay, that's good.
the only other death that was I found sad, ironically not at the time it happened, later when you found out how it happened, was Marco's death.
Yeah,
because I didn't give a shit when he first died. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I found out how he died. I was like, oh, now I feel bad.
This is fucked up, and it caused like Reiner's like fucking psyche break.
I fucking hate that guy so much.
Reiner, he'll grow on you. You go through waves with Reiner. It's like, oh, he's like the best guy in the group, and then it's like, oh, he's a piece of shit. He's a traitor, and then it's like, oh, he's actually psychotic. But he doubled down, and now he's just trying to kill everybody. And then he goes through a whole nother arc in season 4. It's pretty wild.
When they have the chance to kill him and they fucking blow it, I got so fucking pissed. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I completely nonchalantly did not care about Armin's death at all.
Really?
Yeah, well, I think my comment to Alex when I watched that was, "Oh, Armin's crispy now." I see.
Yeah,
I knew they weren't
surprised. Like that.
I knew he wasn't going to die there. I knew.
I mean, it was a pretty convincing. Like this motherfucker is dead. Like
I knew.
I was a mummy.
Well, I knew that the commander wasn't going to take the thing because the way he had always talked. I was like, there's no way he's gonna. I called him slapping it away when right before Levi gives him the thing.
Well, I mean, once it became a choice, like when it's just like, oh my god, he's a crispy guy. It's just like, okay, like at that point, like, yeah, you're convinced he's dead or like whatever. But as soon as it becomes like, oh, he's still alive, oh, Aaron's still alive, we have to choose between the two. Obviously, it was going to be Armin.
Oh yeah, because Irvin made it very clear he wanted to die in battle, like doing what he did.
And he never got to find out.
No.
So sad.
Yeah. Fuck that fucking show. I have so many fucking thoughts.
I'd be concerned if you didn't, regardless of which way the thoughts went.
I'm at the point now where there's only like a handful of characters I'd be upset if they die or not.
Oh, chances are at least.
And I'm actually pretty sure most of them are going to die at the rate it's going.
But anyways, in other news, I've been playing more video games.
Good.
So well, with the little Anbernic handheld thing that I got, it's given me a lot more options to mess around with, and to the point where it's almost too many options because I'll play a game for 5 minutes, then I switch to another game, and I play that for 5 minutes. I just keep doing that over and over again.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna try and like really settle into. Actually, I mentioned it actually on the SuperPod Discord. I've been playing the Lion King Simba's Mighty Adventure for the PS1, and I got through today. I got through the first movie's events, and I'm on the second movie because I totally forgot the second movie was part of the game.
I forget the second movie exists half the time, to be perfectly honest.
I actually liked that movie a lot when I was a kid. I don't know why, it just did.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember any of it, to be perfectly honest.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now in that game, and just been kind of messing around with a bunch of different things. And oh, you know what? I found a patch for Legacy of Goku
Hmm.
where it well, I want to say it corrects all the balancing issues, but it kind of makes it way too easy.
It
Like
corrects.
I played through it, and it I mean, I think my current record for base game Legacy of Goku is like an hour and a half.
Hmm.
I beat the patched version of 40 minutes, like beginning to end. Um, but the patch itself is called Dragon Ball Z and the Legacy of Not Dying to Wolves.
Yeah. Well,
What?
because the way that game is, it's kind of like when you balance it out, it's like, yeah, it gets balanced, but then you realize the combat's still kind of bad.
Well, yeah, the combat was always going to be bad. You'd have to
Yeah.
completely redesign. Honestly, I feel like it would have been more worth it to just take the Legacy of Goku 2 engine and just remake the first game with that and just add extra elements to it.
Yeah. That would be a lot more work, though.
It would be, but it's not. I mean, people homebrew games all the time. Like it's not that far fetched, and it's not a super like. I feel like if you're somebody who's used to homebrewing games and like making your own games with pre-existing engines, I feel like GBA isn't exactly the most difficult to work with.
Yeah. I don't really know much about it, to be honest, but
I mean,
I'm
it's only
sure
like a
if,
team of like 10 people max that made the game in the first place.
yeah, I'm sure if there was a dedicated enough fan to do it, they would. It's finding a fan to actually do
If
it.
only I was good at programming.
Yeah. uh,
Because I would do that for sure.
hmm. I haven't been playing a ton of games. I wrapped up Mario and Luigi Partisan Time because I had
Mm.
a project I was playing that for. I over leveled and mid maxed like way too much in that game because I beat the final boss in like 10 minutes. Like
Yeah,
I went so overboard. I was like, oh, whoops.
that's funny. I got Cindy to pick up Persona 4 again
Hmm.
yesterday, but like the whole time she was playing was just dialogue. So,
A lot
but
of it.
she has access to Yukiko's dungeon now.
Oh, good.
It's there. So she's getting to that point where the game's like opening up. Like she just needs to. I think she just needs to get to like what the third floor, and then she will get her Persona,
Something like that. Yeah.
and then just power through the rest of the dungeon, and that's when the game like really starts.
Hmm.
So I keep like telling her like, and she made it a point of being like, oh, like these super dialogue heavy parts are hard for me unless I'm just super stoned and my whole body just slows down. Is that I could just sit there and soak it in because that's what she did the first time when she like played the first like 3 hours of the game.
Hmm.
She just got wicked stoned and then she just sat there and just went through like all the dialogue, the cutscenes, everything else. It was just kind of like along for the ride kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good game for that.
Yeah, the story is really compelling, especially when you get farther into it and like the
Mm.
reveals start happening.
I still really want to see the anime.
Next time you guys are up, we'll make a point to watch it, or if
It's
I'm ever down
It's gonna
there.
be hard to do a whole 26er in a weekend though, or in like a day pretty much.
Hmm. I have to plan it out.
I'll have to just try and fucking I'll have to just try and get a program to rip Blu-rays.
Yeah,
It'd be
uh,
easier.
or find it on the seven seas or something. I don't know. And when I say 7 seas, I mean totally legal means. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like, I I would want to be able to watch it more than once.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's one of those kinds of things.
It's a shame it's kind of lost to media purgatory right now because it's a weird situation where Sentai did the dub, but Aniplex owns the rights to it.
Typical.
Yeah. So it's kind of in like it's in dubbing media purgatory.
Fucking Aniplex.
Mm-hmm.
The bane of every anime fan.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of anime though, I've been keep catching up with my like ongoings and solo leveling is holy shit.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying that so far. I love how like I mean I obviously don't want to get too into it for spoiler reasons, but I love how like the like big top dog hunter shows up and he's just like, oh, where's this motherfucker? I'm gonna kill him. And he just like assumes he's dead and leaves, and like not 5 minutes later he comes out like, yep, I did the thing. I killed all the things.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize that his necromancer power worked on actual people.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I mean, that guy was an asshole anyway, so I didn't really, I didn't feel bad. But
I mean, yeah, he was an asshole, but like, he was clearly like fucked up mentally. Like, that was, I don't know, it was kind of fucked up to just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill you and enslave your corpse.
you'll the thing you learn in this series is Jinwoo does not give a fuck at all.
Yeah,
Like he is like
yeah.
solely has one purpose in mind, and that's all he cares about.
I love that one kid though. It's just like, oh yeah, I just want to lead the guild of my family's company or whatever. It's just like,
Oh, his
I don't know. He's a good boy. I like
his
him.
little buddy. Yeah,
Yeah,
the sister's
his
still the best character though.
his pet.
Yeah,
We'll say.
I love the sister. She's my favorite character.
Hmm.
It's just something
He's got the whole thing with like his sister's friend from school. How she's like kind of part of the crew.
Yeah. Well, he's gotta like show her that this is dangerous and gotta get that through to her.
Yeah, well, I think the main thing she learned from that experience was, okay, so as long as I'm hunting with you, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. So you want to talk about Daima now, or
Sure.
all right, let's move into Daima time as we've described it. I think that's our music we chose. Yeah. So episode
6, I believe.
6, I want to say, because I think 7 just came out dubbed. I want to say. Let me
I'm
double
pretty
check.
sure it's 6. Lightning is the title.
Yep, 6.
For obvious reasons once you watch it.
This is another episode where stuff happens, but not a lot of plot really moves forward.
Yeah, well, it keeps you interested with these kind of episodes because it's like you get a little bit of conflict between the characters, which is always fun. The episode starts with them crashing because, of course.
Yeah.
And while Pansy is trying to fix the plane, and apparently they have to dump a bunch of their equipment, which kind of sucks. But while she's fixing the plane, Goku's like, I gotta take a shit.
Yeah.
So he goes off and poops in the bushes, and very conveniently timed, because that's when the gendarmerie show up, and they're like, "Hey, have you seen a kid with spiky hair and a red pole?"
Yeah.
Does all that shit. And this is also where you learn that the third demon world is like actually like the third world, because even the princess of the third world has to wear one of those fucking collars.
Yeah. I love the fact that like this whole serious thing's going on and Goku avoids it because he's taking a fucking dump.
Yeah, right. Just typical Goku.
I love the fact too that Pansy keeps commenting about how like there's no way you're actually an adult with children.
Oh, she's just like, oh yeah, I'm 82 years old. Like what?
Yeah. It's like goofy
Wild.
shit like that.
It's like twice as old as Goku.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing though. They show up and then immediately leave just in time for Goku to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very conveniently timed.
Hmm.
And then there was also We also got a little bit more. Technically, this is lore that already existed, but this is the first time we're seeing it like in a Dragon Ball series, where we learn where Glins come from.
Yeah.
They are born from trees. There are 5 Glin trees, and you're a sibling if you come from the same tree.
Yes.
So I don't know how often Glins are born, but it's a lot of. I mean, just from the ones we've met, like throughout Super and Z and everything, like, we've met quite a few.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you just kind of don't think about it too hard because it's kind of like,
Because I'm pretty sure the regular Kais are also technically Glins. Because I mean, even because in Super, it was said that Zamasu was like he was like the King Kai at first, and then he got recruited to become the next Supreme Kai afterwards. So he was like King Kai level at first, and then he moved up. So supposedly King Kai and the other direction Kais and the Grand Kai are all also Glins. So they must come from a different tree.
That's what I'd assume. It's like a weird, like, it's lore that we didn't really ask for, but it's cool that it's here, I guess.
Well, I mean, I like that we're getting more on the Kais in general because, I mean, as much as like there is something to be said for keeping certain things within a realm of mystery, like at this point, it's already been pretty well established that the only thing that really separates the Kais from the mortals is just that they live longer.
Yeah. Funny. It's funny too, because then like shortly after that, then we finally get we get the fight that's kind of been people have been waiting for since this kind of started.
Oh well, first we learn who Glorio is working for.
Right.
It turns out he's working for Arinsu, Supreme Kai's older sister.
Right. Yep. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Which at this point we have no idea what the motivations are for either Glorio or Arinsu. But we know that whatever Arinsu is doing, she's doing it behind Koma's back.
Yeah. You also get more Goku mistaking Glorio's name. And him just being very you can tell he's annoyed, but he just doesn't have the effort to really give a shit.
What do they call him this time? Like Guerrero?
Guerrero, yeah. I'm just waiting for Goku to call him Glory Hole at this point.
For real. Like, it's right there. It's right there on the table. Like, you gotta do it. I mean, come on.
I do like though, because like right after this, then like he's so annoyed with Goku by this point, like in the very low energy annoyed way that like he's like, all right, tough guy, you want to fight? And he's like, you think you could beat me? And Goku's like, yeah, you don't look too hard.
He's like, yeah, honestly, like.
And we get a pretty cool fight. Like it's cool to finally see Goku actually have a challenge.
Yeah, it's really well animated, and like the choreography is used really, really well. We learned that Glorio's his special type of magic is lightning, which is actually pretty cool because I don't think we've ever really seen a character that uses lightning.
Not that I can remember, anyways.
At least not like explicitly. Like I think Zamasu used lightning once, but I don't think that was like oh, lightning is my thing. Like lightning is clearly Glorio's thing. So
yeah, I do like. It was kind of cool seeing like Kid Goku do like Z and Super style attacks like in a way that actually made sense, not like in GT where it was just kind of bullshit all the time.
Yeah, and I gotta say that has to be like one of the best Super Saiyan transformations. Like the one that he has in that fight. It's just like, I don't know, it's just something about the way that it's animated where like once he starts to transform, you kind of like see like, well, first I mean, we've seen like the rocks like rising up around him and everything like that. We've seen that so many times, but just the way it's done this particular time. And then like the shifting of the hair, like how like the hair goes up and it's still black, and you kind of have like the reflection of the gold energy off the black hair, but then like it's slowly going, like it's not just like an instant like like instant gold. It's like a gradual change, and it's done so well.
Yeah. No, it was interesting how they did that too, and I love the fact too that we get more classic Goku holding back and just pissing off his opponents.
Yeah, he still only went regular Super Saiyan, so like he was severely holding back, and he still wiped the floor with him.
I just laugh because that's just like a thing Goku always does. He holds back, and then they're like, "You're holding back, you fucking asshole!" Like,
yep, yeah, that's about right.
And then it did not surprise me when Goku inevitably won that fight, and it's like, okay, yeah, Goku is still absurdly strong, even as a kid.
Yeah, it kind of feels like there's at points, where they do struggle against some enemies and stuff, but like for the most part, it's kind of hard to really see where the power dip is.
Because it seems like
still doing all the same kind of shit that they were doing before.
It seems like turning them to kids was more of just a minor inconvenience than anything at this point.
It was just like, oh no, I had to figure out my range again. Oh wait, I got it. I'm good.
I figured it out in an episode. Cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will say,
like, oh no, the air is thick. Oh, I got used to that too. I'm good.
Yeah, it's like GT but better paced. I will say.
Yeah.
That and the fact that like there's at least a legitimate reasoning behind a lot of the stuff. But the only other thing that really happens in this episode is we get a quick peek at what's going on back with Bulma and everybody.
Yeah.
Where they're testing out their rocket, and it sort of starts to work, but then it immediately fails. And we kind of get left off there.
Did what's his face show up for them yet? Or I don't remember if that happened.
I don't believe so yet. I think it just it ends with the ship crashing back down to Bulma being like, "What happened?" in a confused face.
Oh. Well, maybe he stopped to get his hair done on the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think it was a fun episode.
Good fight.
Oh, and then the episode ends with Goku having to poop again.
Yeah, because need that humor. I'm not gonna lie, Stephanie Nadami seems to like shift between being really on it and just kind of like sort of being on it from episode to episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also gotta figure she's super out of practice. It's not she's been voice acting other characters this whole time. Like she's pretty much when she lost the Goku role, she pretty much just stopped voice acting entirely.
Like it's not bad. It's just there will be points where like she kind of loses the voice, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay. Nope, it's back. Okay."
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell there's some wear and tear there, but I mean, part of it is also because she's a singer, and so while she hasn't been voice acting, she has been singing. So like, that's gonna wear on your voice after 15 years.
What I just find interesting is it's kind of a weird juxtaposition of like you have this classic familiar voice you're very familiar with, then you have a lot of new talent, and then you have like some like a couple regulars, like you got Aaron Discmu, who's like a voice that you're familiar with. It's an interesting like dub, I will say, overall at the moment.
He's like the oldest of the new guard.
Yeah, like he's been in the game for so long, but he's only been doing his current voice for a couple years now.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say that, because like he was technically around like the early 2000s, but he was a kid, so he was practically like had a whole different vibe about his acting.
Yeah, he's one of those child voice actors who managed to stay in the game even after his voice dropped.
Which I'm happy, because I like a lot of the roles that he did. I mean, I actually got Cindy on watching Dr. Stone recently. He plays the main character in that, and I absolutely love him for that character.
He's just got such an iconic voice. Like, I mean, like the president in Kaguya-sama is like probably one of his best. His very small appearance in Fruit Baskets I love, just because that character fits that personality so well. Just a lot of fun stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, it's been interesting. The next episode I look forward to talking about, just because there's a line in that where like when I heard it, I was like, oh, that is amazing.
Well, I haven't heard it in English yet, so I don't know what it is.
I'll save it for next week. But there was a very good line that resonated with the fandom, we'll say. But yeah, that was Dynamite time. It's going. It's picking up pace. It's just kind of one of those things where this is a series that I think is going to be much better watching when it's done, like from beginning to end.
Yeah, for sure. I think once the series wraps up, and like especially like if say like Alex watches through, or maybe we get definitely would like to have Jared on because he's been watching week to week. It'd be good to just do like a general overview of the series as a whole.
Definitely,
Once it's done.
I can definitely see that as a GNC. Getting Alex to watch it is probably up in the air right now because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's gonna watch it before she watches OG Dragon Ball or not.
I don't think so. No, I think she is going to watch it before
Probably,
that. I
probably.
doubt she's gonna dive right into OG Dragon Ball after all that.
No, not
Daima's
anytime
much more
soon.
reasonable. 20 episodes. That's pretty quick.
Yeah. Then I think she's going to be Dragon Balled out after she finishes Superhero.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Daima. Another episode down. It's crazy. We're already at 7.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes quick, man. There's only one more episode of the Japanese
Yeah, I know.
next Friday. That's gonna be the end.
It's crazy. It's funny. Out of all the ongoings I'm watching right now, like I think the only one that's going to be going for a while is Apothecary Diaries season 2, just because that's like 20 something episodes.
Yeah. Kenshin is the same, but it's further along than Apothecary Diaries is.
Yeah,
Kenshin's like halfway right now.
yeah, because Sakamoto Days is already almost over.
Yeah, Kenshin. I think Kenshin just got his ultimate attack for the
Nice.
Hitamatsurugi, so they're like literally getting ready to go raid Shishio's place. Is where I left
Nice.
off.
Nice. I'm curious how they're going to handle that when I eventually watch it.
Hey, so you watched the old one recently?
Yes.
Did the doctor lady show up in Kyoto at any point?
Oh, the one that
The
flirts with
opium one.
Kenshin.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe
I didn't
so.
think so. She shows up
Oh,
because after remember you know how she fights the old dude who's also in the Onuwaban, and like pretty much almost kills him. She shows up to treat him.
oh, yeah. That didn't happen in the original. I don't believe so, because I
Yeah,
think the last thing she does before they eventually come back from Kyoto is she slaps the shit out of Kairu to stop being mopey, and then
yeah. Luckily that whole thing doesn't take as long.
the moping arc. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Kaoru was much less annoying in this version.
Well,
I will give it that.
she's written like her manga self. She isn't written like '90s anime female.
That's one thing I've noticed with this series is like maybe like half of the male like voice cast. I'm like up in the air about whether or not I like the choice. Like for instance, I'm not a fan of Saito's voice.
Well,
I
Saito
just feel like
was
his original voice was way better
wasn't
for the
that like
character.
wasn't that Steve Bloom or
No, Steve Bloom played Shishio.
oh Shishio, right.
Saito, the guy who like shows up right before the Shishio arc starts, and he and Kenshin fight, and then they team up against Shishio.
I forget who is that voice because I know it's a well known actor. How is
He
Kenshin's new voice?
he's one of the ones that I actually have no problem with. Like, even though it's not like the iconic voice everybody knows, it still works with the character.
Yeah, well, because no one's going to be able to do Richard Casino or Casio.
Mhm.
He just has that iconic weird noise voice.
Yeah. Sanosuke, I'm kind of on the fence about. It doesn't particularly bother me, his new voice, but I'm also just very attached to the old voice, so I can't fully
Because he's
get in that corner.
he's Darius Johnson now. He was originally Lex Lang, and those are very different voices.
Yeah.
Um,
But Saito's voice is just too damn deep. Like he's supposed to have like the kind of like, bah, I'm an anti-hero kind of
yeah.
voice.
Who was his voice actor in? Oh, it was Kirk Thornton. That's why in the original version.
Yeah.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, there's some iconic VAs in this original dub.
Hmm. And the actor for Shishio isn't bad at all. Like he's a good actor. It's just like how can you recast Steve Bloom? Like I know for a fact Steve Bloom would have come back if they had approached him.
Probably. Well, I don't know. That Kenshin's a weird property at the moment, unfortunately, for a lot of VAs.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, that's why it took a lot of them forever to announce they were even doing it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I still feel like they're making a bigger deal out of it. Because I mean it's one of those things like obviously like
Oh,
you know
Saito's voice in the new show is Bill Butts. I love Bill Butts.
um obviously like don't support the guy because that's fucked up but I mean the property is there already. They're already making the thing. Like you can't deny that the series itself has its place in the pantheon and actually is saying something meaningful regardless
well, yeah,
of your
it's one of
opinion of
the
the creator,
it's one of the biggest examples of art from the artist. I just unfortunately it's gonna forever be stigmatized going forward now.
which sucks because it is a very good
Yeah.
series.
Well,
But
it's just the fact that it not only is the author kind of a piece of shit, but what he did is just bad. Like,
yeah, but there's no defending it.
no, not at all. Uh, that's why you
But
buy the manga secondhand if you can. And
yeah, well, you for the most part you don't really have an option either way now.
I
They
think
don't really print it.
I think Viz still will reprint the 3-in-1s. That's about it.
Yeah, well, I've already got half the series in VizBig, so I'm gonna have to just keep going with that. And unfortunately, it's more expensive that route, but oh
See,
well.
I found all the 3-in-1s on eBay from some guy selling his collection because he was disgusted with the series, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll take those off your hand.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's probably about time to
Get into
jump
the
into our topic.
Yeah, we're talking about shooty shooty bang bang gangs games.
Yes, yes. So I
um,
was trying to think of another good like gaming related episode because we don't do nearly enough of them.
no,
Um,
we don't, unfortunately.
and like I don't have a ton of experience with like specific consoles except for like a couple. So like doing those kinds of episodes like you do in GNC, like those are a little bit harder to make happen. And then I don't know, just in general, like trying to find a specific gaming topic is difficult. So going for these kinds of more broad topics are generally better.
Hmm. So when we say shooters, I'm assuming we meant like the broad definition of shooters because there is so many
Yeah.
different kinds of games in this genre, not just the first person variety, which a lot of people are fond of. Um,
Yeah, I wasn't just thinking first person shooter.
yeah, that's what I was thinking because I it took me a while to get into FPS games, like because I was always more of a RPG fan back in the
Mhm.
day. I have since grown on them to a degree. I think my dislike for them mostly came from my fact of mostly came from my dislike of the Call of Duty fan base.
That's fair. That's completely valid.
Yeah,
Considering I was once part of that fan base, yes, I'm with you.
yeah. Well, it just nothing against the games, and most people who play them are normal. But some of those fans, like, oh my god, like,
Yeah, it can get a little rough.
well, then the
That's the
fact that
thing is
it's
when you're playing online, it's pretty rough. Yeah.
well, you play online, and it's either the most obnoxious like shit you'll ever hear, or it's nothing but squeakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Squeakers
Um,
being extremely racist.
but anyways,
Yeah.
so I don't know where we want to start with this. I jotted down a few specific ones that we could touch on, but
Trying to think what the earliest shooter I ever played was, because it would have to be back on the PlayStation. It honestly was probably like it's probably a third person shoot. Honestly, it might have been Metal Gear, but that's more of
Hmm.
a stealth. That's more of a stealth game.
yeah, I was gonna say because I mean I played one of the Splinter Cell games back in the day,
Oh,
and
you know what it was? This is also a stealth game, but it was Siphon Filter.
okay.
Good old
Um,
Siphon Filter.
so I think my first one, it's hard. I know I played GoldenEye like years and years ago, like, but as far as like a game that I really like, sunk time into, um, it had to have been either the original Halo or would it, would it have been Nightfire? No,
Halo came out before
no, you know what?
Nightfire.
Big Red One. It
Big
was
Red
Call of Duty
One.
2, Big Red One.
The PS2 360 port of 2, which was basically a new game.
Hmm.
I remember playing Big Red One a lot at a friend's house back in the day because I wouldn't have owned it because M rated, but or was it T? Might have been T
I
actually.
I don't remember. I don't remember. But yeah, it's one of only two Call of Duty campaigns I've actually played through.
Do they even have campaigns anymore?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure because I know
Most
most
people
people.
just skip them over though.
Yeah, most people don't even bother and they go right into multiplayer. Um, yeah, Big Red One was fun. There was also Finest Hour, which was the Call of Duty One PS2 port.
Yeah, I never played that one. I played two, and then I pretty much went straight to World of War.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
which
three's the
I
one that
did
no
play
one
on.
remembers.
Yeah, and I did play online for a while, but eventually I just kind of shifted into just doing zombies.
Yeah,
Because when I was playing online, I was usually playing Modern Warfare 2 because that was the online multiplayer one that I liked the most. It
mm,
was what I was the best at. Um, I actually did decent in multiplayer in that game. So
mm. Yeah. I was thinking another big shooter from that era was like the Star Wars Battlefront games.
yes, I dumped so much time into that game, and across like multiple consoles too,
Oh yeah,
like original Xbox, PS2, and PSP. I played it on all three like a lot.
I played the shit out of Battlefront 2 on my PSP.
Yep, me too. That was like I think it was like the main reason I wanted a PSP was because Battlefront 2 was on it.
I was like constantly playing the air combat stages.
Yep. The space battles.
I love taking out the enemy ships in those.
Yeah, the best was just like like going inside their like big main ship and just fucking setting
Attempt,
time bombs on everything.
attempting to land and crashing multiple times.
Well, one of my favorite thing, yeah, no, one of my favorite things, especially with the PSP version, just because of the way the AI worked, like you could
Yeah.
just go into their hangar and just like hide behind one of the ships, wait for somebody to go in and plant the time bomb as they're taking off. And you just watch them fly out, and like right as they cross the threshold, they explode and die. Like,
I always love doing that. I always love taking out life support to being doing that first.
yep, yeah, it was
Uh,
super funny.
and attempting to use the PSP's awful camera controls because the PSP port is super impressive, but my god, the camera in that game is horrendous.
Yeah, yeah, you kind of have to rely on the lock on button if you
I
want to
will
like.
s- mm, I will say though, my favorite thing to do in Battlefront 2 was the cantina like free for all stage
Mhm.
where you could just have basically every heroes or villains at the cantina
Yep.
just freaking camping around as fucking Boba Fett and just taking everyone out.
Oh yeah, right at the top of that like big dome. Yeah, that was like the best thing.
And it was just
Boba Fett,
captured.
Jango Fett, fucking. I don't know whoever played as fucking Leia or Han, but
Well, you
you were
either
probably
were
getting stomped.
if you were on the bad side, you were playing as either Boba Fett or Jango Fett. If you were on the good side, you were playing as Yoda because he was a cheap bastard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I played around with all of them at one point or another.
Oh yeah, I'd always change it up because you just like
Yeah, try them all out.
that was like the peak multiplayer like of that era. Like just like getting a couple of guys
Mhm.
playing some Battlefront 2. I will say Battlefront 2 I think had better gameplay, but Battlefront 1 had better maps overall.
That's what I always hear. I never played the first one, so I really couldn't say.
It had really good stages. Like it was a very well designed game. The gameplay was a little rough, and then 2 made it so much better.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Halo was another big one. That was kind of like, I mean, I don't know if they can claim all of the credit, but I feel like that was the big one that kind of like really blew up first person shooters.
It revolutionized the console FPS. Like, it took what GoldenEye kind of established, and it basically just made it like, it basically perfected the whole setup of a console RPG, like this, the control design, just the way it kind of worked, the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Halo 1 has like one of the best campaigns too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a while since I actually played all the way through a Halo
Oh,
campaign. Like
it's
a long
so
time.
Halo 1, I replayed it recently because I didn't get to play that game until years later because I didn't have an Xbox. But
Mm-hmm.
playing Halo 1 recently, that fucking pistol is like the greatest pistol in all of gaming.
It really is. It's like the best weapon in the game.
Well, there's an old like joke I read online once where it was like, if you're going for close combat, you use the pistol. And if you're going for long range combat, you use the sniper rifle or the pistol. The pistol works just as good.
Yep, pretty much.
Like that thing is so unreal. And I was very disappointed when I played 2 and it wasn't nearly as useful.
Yeah, it was nerfed and it never, despite what anybody says, it was never as good as it was in the first game.
They did punch it back up, I believe, in Reach and 4, I think, but it was never the same as it was in 1. 1 was ridiculous.
Although now that supposedly Halo's gonna be coming over to PlayStation, as I've been
Oh
hearing
yeah.
about that, maybe I'll actually pick it up again at some point in the future. Me and Xander could play through the campaign together.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they put over like 1 through Reach, I'd play those. I don't really care about
They're
the
probably just gonna put the Master Chief Collection on there.
yeah. Like I don't really care much about the 343 games that much. Like 4 was okay, but everything after that I was like, nah.
So yeah, it looks like I made the right choice getting a PlayStation because
Yeah.
the only two big Xbox exclusive series that I care about are both getting moved over to PlayStation. So
Yeah, because if Fable comes out on PlayStation, that basically
I have
kills
no
any.
reason to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, because I was tempted to get one. The only reason I'd want to get an Xbox is because crossplay is not really a thing with a lot of games right now.
Yeah.
But I can't justify the price if it's the games are just all going to come out over here,
Yeah.
anyways. So
Yeah, there's literally no reason for me to buy an Xbox now.
yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of sad the way it's going, but it is
The
what it
the only
is.
thing Xbox has over PlayStation, it's easier to stream. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
and
at
even
that
then, a
point you could just get a capture card and that solves that problem. So
capture card or just play on PC.
yeah. Um but
So
yeah, I had sunk a lot of time into Halo growing up, especially the
I
first two.
hmm, I didn't have Halo, but I did have Medal of Honor.
And I might have played that once or twice, but it wasn't one I played a lot.
The early Medal of Honors were really good. Like the one on the 2 on PlayStation are like kind of like iconic, like just for old school military. Like it before Call of Duty, like it was like the military shooter.
Mhm,
Um, they were really fun. The ones on PS2 were also pretty cool. It was just like a different feel. Like I really enjoyed those games.
mhm.
Um, the series kind of died when EA tried to bring it back and just make it like Battlefield or Call of Duty, and I was like, yeah, this is kills any reason to play these games because it's nothing like why we liked them back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Um, yeah, Medal of Honor was fun. I like the old school like military shooters before they just became like online, whatever they are now.
Before they all just became Call of Duty.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Well, speaking of shooters that were nothing like Call of Duty, um, like the kinds of like arcade shooters, like you know your Time Crisis, your Silent Scope, your House of the Dead, like the Jurassic Park game, Terminator, like those
Rail,
kinds of games.
rail shooters. I love rail shooters so much.
They're so much fun, especially if you actually have like the the zapper or whatever you want to call it, like the gun.
The Wii Zapper, that is one of the smartest things Nintendo did because it made those games so freaking fun.
I can imagine. I think I played around with the Wii one once. but
So
not
like
nearly to the point where I would have liked.
the Wii had like a couple rail shooter like games that I really loved. Like they had the two Resident Evil Chronicles games. Like there was Umbrella Chronicles and the Dark Side Chronicles. Those were really good.
Mhm.
My absolute favorite though by far was House of the Dead Overkill. That
I think I've only played the second one.
the
Second
second
House
one
of the Dead.
is the second one is really good. Overkill was just funny though because it's like such a like 80s like B movie in terms
Mhm.
of like plot. Like there's some of the dialogue in that game has aged terribly, but I love it for how fucking stupid it is.
Yeah. Um, Also, I just want to kind of throw out a little shout out. Hunting games.
Hmm.
It's technically shooting games, but not like combat.
Yeah,
I did fuck around with some of those a little bit, like back in the day. Um, I don't remember which one it was. I mean, obviously there's the Big Buck Hunter, but that's a different kind of thing.
there's like
Um,
those Cabela's games now. There's a ton of them.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's so many of them. Because I remember playing one of those on the original Xbox.
Hmm.
And I actually had a lot of fun with that. There's a lot of like different aspects to it that actually made it somewhat interesting. It wasn't something I dumped a lot of time into, but it was something I would pop in every now and then and just fuck around on.
Another shooter I really liked, going back to Star Wars, was the Rogue Squadron games.
Don't believe I played those ones.
Those were the ones where you played. They were mostly air. They were pretty much all air combat games, other than the third one, which had on foot sections, which were bad. But
Hmm.
Rogue Squadron 2 in particular on the GameCube was such an awesome game. I used to play the hell
So,
out of that.
out of curiosity, like, where's the line for shooters here? Because, like, for example, would you call Galaga a shooter?
Yeah, arcade
Okay,
shooter.
okay. Because I played a couple old Star Trek games recently, and they're like
Mhm.
that kind of thing. Like I played Star Trek 25th anniversary on the Game Boy, and that was like the same type of thing, but it's going side to side as opposed to
So like a scrolling shooter, shoot 'em up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I call shoot 'em ups like shooters. Like there's
yeah.
the thing about the shooting genre is it is such a broad genre of a it's such a broad genre of games. Like there's so many different types. Like I love like air combat shooters. Like one of my
Mhm,
favorite series of all time is Ace Combat, which is just it's just jet fighter combat games, but they have like they have these really fun stories. Like they take place in one of the gimmicks is that it's like military air like jet like fighter combat, but
mhm,
it takes place in like not it's literally not Earth. It's like it's a weird planet that's not like the real world. They call it Strange Real in the
mhm,
universe. Um, it's just goofy fun, and there's such addictingly fun arcade style games with some sim aspects to them.
mhm. Gotcha. um. Oh, another one that was kind of goes back quite a ways back,
Mhm.
but even goes up to like recent years is Doom.
I mean, Doom is like the granddaddy of the first person. Well, not technically, Wolfenstein came first, but like Doom's the one that really Doom really kind of put it into perspective what a first person shooter could be. Like I still will play Doom 1 and 2 like all every now
Mhm.
and then.
Yeah, I've still technically never beat the first Doom, and I'm still a little bit mad at my little brother about this because there was all right. So back when I was still at my mom's house, I don't remember. I might have still been in high school. I had the first Doom on my Xbox, and I had my little brother come in my room and say, we're gonna play this game, and we're gonna just fucking fly through it." And we literally go up. We're at the final level of the game, playing two player, and he's just like, "I think I don't want to play anymore." Like, you fucking kidding me? We have one level left. Let's just fucking finish it. And he's like, no, no, I'm gonna go fucking watch YouTube or whatever. I'm like, fucking goddamn kids.
It sucks too that you can't like drop out and then just let the other person finish.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I just haven't gone back to it yet because I'm still butthurt about that. I still give him shit for it sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah, I love old school FPS games, like boomer shooters as they like to call them now.
Hmm.
Like I love all the Dooms. Wolfenstein's a classic. I mean, hell, it has Mecha Hitler in it. Like
I
that's
love
still one.
shooters where you can't look up and down. It's just if you aim in their general direction, you'll hit them.
Well, one of my favorites is Duke Nukem 3D, which used the build engine. That game is technically not 3D. It uses a engine that cleverly mimics 3D, but it's you can look up and down in that game, but when you look up, the game like turns into this bizarre funhouse thing because like it's not actually 3D. It's just some really cleverly placed 2D objects that replicate 3D, and it looks bizarre when you look up and down.
Hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, Duke Nukem is a
Um,
classic. Like I'll still boot up Duke Nukem 3D every now and then just to run through it.
So I haven't put much time into it. I do have it on my Ambernick, but I did fuck around a little bit with Quake.
Quake is fun
Um,
too. That was the first true 3D FPS.
yeah, that was well. I played a little bit of Quake 3. I just did like a match or two, and it was cool. I was playing the Dreamcast version,
Mm.
and I don't know if it's like this on all of them, but with the camera movement and whatnot being the buttons, like the face buttons, like that was a little weird.
So, fun fact about Doom 3 on the Dreamcast. Because the Dreamcast has a mouse and keyboard attachment, you can actually play true mouse and keyboard with the Dreamcast version.
That's really funny.
I've done it before. Doom 3 is interesting because it's technically it doesn't really have a single player. It's more of a
that that actually explains it because well, I had to remap some of the buttons, and one of the buttons was mapped as spacebar.
yeah,
And I was really confused.
yeah.
So I technically have played an actual Dreamcast before, but it was fucking like Dreamcast was current at the time, so that's how long it's been. And I only did it once or twice, so it wasn't like something I'm super familiar with.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
so
next time
just
you're
being able
down,
to go back and play some of these Dreamcast games is pretty cool.
I'll have to pull out the Dreamcast because there's so many games on that are worth playing.
I've dabbled a little bit with a couple of them. I know there's a JoJo's fighting game on there, which is interesting.
And it's
Um,
expensive as shit.
yeah. And there's a Berserk game, weirdly placed on the timeline, not where I would have expected it to be, but that one's a hack and slash like Dynasty Warriors type game.
Hmm. Did you ever play that Star Trek first person shooter, the Voyager one?
No, it was on PS2, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah,
It's
no, I never
weird.
did.
It's super weird.
Well, at some point, well, right now, like I'm happy with the Ambernick, and I'm just gonna mess around with that. I have tried hooking it up to the TV. It has some issues with controller, like connecting a controller to it. It doesn't know how to handle that.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's just because I'm using a PlayStation controller. Maybe if I use like their brand controller, it would work better. I don't know.
It's
Um,
possible.
but as of right now, I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not I even want to try doing it on the TV. At some point, when I have the money, I want to get a RetroPie
Yeah.
because that one is just a straight up like console box for the TV and it plays through like PS2 and shit. So
Hmm.
yeah, that has a lot more options for those kinds of like multiplayer games. So yeah, at some point I'm going to invest in one of those.
Nice.
And especially it'd be even better because I already have a bunch of ROMs available. I just got to fucking load them up. There you go.
Hmm. True. I'm trying to think of another good shooter from back in the day. Like obviously, like there was the big id Software ones, Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake.
Mhm.
Duke Nukem was a huge one. I mean, GoldenEye was definitely like one of the biggest shooters of its time.
Yeah.
Even though I still say it's not even the best. It's not even the best James Bond game on N64.
Well, there's more than one GoldenEye game, isn't there? Isn't there one on? Am I making this up? Is there one on GameCube?
So there's GoldenEye Rogue Agent, but that's like a completely different game.
Or was there? Because I swear to God, I remember playing like it was like a newer game,
Well,
a newer 007 game, but it was GoldenEye.
there was GoldenEye like Reloaded, which was like a remake of it for it was on the Wii, PS3, and 360.
Maybe it's on the 360. I'm not sure.
there was GoldenEye, this like weird GoldenEye rogue agent thing, which was a completely different game. Like it actually, the GoldenEye was a legit GoldenEye. Like it was bizarre.
Jesus.
Um,
Well, on the subject of 007, Nightfire was one that I played a lot.
Nightfire is the best 007 game. I don't care what anyone says.
I am in complete agreement with you there. I've dumped so much time into that game. That's a game that needs to be re-released. Or like, like I know everybody's saying like, oh, we're getting tired of remakes. There's too many remakes. We need a remake of that game.
Like Nightfire was great. The World Is Not Enough was really good. The two Eurocom ones, basically. I love those games. Nightfire in particular, the multiplayer in that was so fucking cool.
Oh, it was great. And just like having all the different AIs running around too on top of the player characters. And I love the maps in that game, like especially the one with like the little ski lodge and then like the castle at the top of the hill. Like I love that one.
Yeah.
There's also that one with like the random pit in the middle. It's like a big round room and there's like the pit in the middle. Like I like that one a lot. Yeah, Nightfire was great. I love the story mode in Nightfire too. Like I love like the stealth aspect to that game. But then there's also just like the crazy fucking levels, like you're riding the fucking snowmobile down the mountain and fucking. I think there was like an underwater, like you're in like the spy car, but it's a boat. It's like a fucking submarine, and you're just riding around underwater.
Just a cool game. Like I loved when they were actually making these original ideas, not just like movie-based tie-ins.
Yeah, like I absolutely love that game, and that is a game that deserves a remake.
Yeah, the PS2 era had a ton of awesome like shooters like that.
I know we're really stretching it here, but in a way, I could kind of make an argument for the Harry Potter games being shooters.
I mean, sure.
In a way. I mean, you are shooting. It's just, it's not a gun.
It's a stick.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, if the N64/PlayStation 1 South Park game counts as a shooter.
I mean, that game sucks so hard.
It's so. I've actually fucked around with that game a little bit recently, and it's just fucking stupid. But I still get a chuckle out of it.
The N64 version is passable. That PS1 port though is horrendous.
Yeah, that's the one I was playing too. Because by the way, I did test it. N64. I tried Smash Brothers on it. Nope.
Not
no
happening.
Dice. No dice. It got as far as loading the top of Link's castle, and then it just crashed.
That's always fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna be playing N64 games on that. I'd have to get a stronger one, or just wait for the RetroPie.
Yeah. Trying to think another good shooter that I played.
I mean, cowboy shooters are always fun.
Oh, like a Red Dead Redemption or
Red Dead, Gun.
Gun is a very underrated game.
Yeah, for sure. I've started fucking around with the PSP one, which I didn't realize was literally just the same game, but like downgraded
on PSP. Yeah.
Yeah. This is again one of those ones where I don't know how I feel about the. Only in this case, it's like all the directional like looking around it because the PSP only had the one analog. It's the face buttons that.
Yep.
It's how you look around, and I don't know how I feel about that. And I think I fucked it up, man. Because the Ambernick uses the PPSSPP emulator, and I tried to remap the controller for that game so that the right analog stick would just control those buttons. But I fucked it up, and now when I enter the menu for the emulator and I'm on that game, I can't hit X for anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's probably not good.
No, it works fine with all the other PSP games. Just that one in particular, it just like locked itself in, and because I can't get into the settings, I can't change it.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a bummer, but at least it didn't affect any of the other games. That's something.
Did you run? Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, Gun. Like I I dumped so much time into that game. Like, it has a really fun story. Like, the combat itself is really, really well done.
Hmm.
Even some of the side quests, like oh, you gotta go and actually wrestle up some cattle. Like,
Hmm.
go actually be a cowboy for a minute. Like,
Yeah, I love shit like that. Um, did you ever mess around with the Ratchet and Clank series?
I did not know.
Those
It's one
games
of
are
the ones I
fun.
missed.
See, those games are really fun because they're platformers, but they're like the big gimmick with them is like the crazy like outlandish weapons you can make. Like
Mhm.
there's like the biggest thing about it is like there's so many weapons in every game and they're just so creative. Like you got like the fucking chicken cannon and shit and just like insane stuff and you can upgrade them like different like levels. Like one of the guns like it plays like the 1984 like overture whenever you shoot with it.
Mhm.
It's like fun shit like that.
It's funny you mentioned that is like if we're gonna like include that in the pantheon, Jack 3. I
Oh yeah,
remember playing that one a lot.
because Jack and Daxter's first game is a traditional platformer, and then they were like, "We need to make it Grand Theft Auto. Let's add guns."
Yeah.
And the gunplay
Said
is not very good.
guns and cars.
The gunplay in Jack and Daxter is not very good. I will say that it's very basic. I guess you could say.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't I wouldn't say it's a shoot, even though it is technically it falls under that umbrella. But I wouldn't call it a shooting game, even when you get to Jack 3.
Jack 3 is ironically more of a driving game than a shooting game.
Yeah, that is true.
There's so many car levels in that first half.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, no, and that game was fun too because there was a lot of like other aspects to it. Like it wasn't just the shooting. Like it had like the light jack and the dark jack like forms or whatever, and that would like change your combat and you get different abilities, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of fun stuff in that game. I enjoyed it.
yeah. It's a series that I miss, but I don't think we're ever going to see again.
Unfortunately, I think the last gasp of that was the Vita remake.
Oh, that's unplayable.
Yeah, unfortunately, which is stupid. Like you think they could have at least patched it to try and fucking fix some shit on it, but no.
Whoever the company that ported that basically just kind of farted it out on Vita and was like, "Yeah, good enough."
It's about right. At that point, you're better off just getting the original versions on PS4, PS5.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like on the
Because that way
Vita,
you get Jack X Racing as well.
hell yeah, that game has such a stupid plot.
Didn't even know it had a plot.
Oh yeah, there's a story mode and it's dumb. It is very dumb.
Jesus.
Uh, yeah,
But yeah,
shooting
I don't.
games were just shooting games are like the perfect like. You just need to like kill some time and get some like raw aggression out.
Yeah. I mean that's one of the great things about them though, is it
Mm,
gives you that kind of out. Like that's why I love playing zombies. It's just one of those perfect like, oh, I have like an hour to kill. I don't want to get invested in like a game that, has like a story that I'm trying to follow or whatever. Like I don't have a ton of time. I'm just gonna go in and do a round of zombies, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um then but if you do want to get invested, but you still want to play a shooter, Borderlands is another decent
Never
option.
never played.
It's a first person shooter RPG.
That's what I've heard. It's just one of those things where I've just never really gotten into it.
Like it's literally just an RPG, but the combat is first person shooter.
Hmm.
Um, and it works really well for what it is, especially the art style of it. Like the a lot of people I've noticed had a lot of negative things to say about the art style when the first one came out or initially. But now that like a certain amount of years have gone by, like you can still go back to that first game and it looks totally fine. And that it's because of the art style they chose. Like it has that kind of cartoony look or like almost comic book style to it,
Hmm.
which ages so gracefully.
Yeah, no, it does. That's sort of cell shaded look to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same kind of deal as like the Walking Dead, like Telltale games. Like it has that
Mhm.
kind of like timeless art style to it.
Yeah. It's actually funny. Another set of shooters that kind of went they kind of just vanished over time just because they were exclusive to the 360 and PS3. There was the two Darkness games.
I don't think I ever messed with those ones.
So they were based off like an Image Comics series, but they were just really fun. They were made by Starbreeze Studios, and then the second one was Machine Games. That's the
Mhm.
company that later went on to do the Wolfenstein reboot.
Mhm.
But they were just really fun comic booky like first person shooters. I always remember the singer for Faith No More was played the was the voice of like the main character for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were really fun. And actually talking about the Wolfenstein remakes, like the Wolfenstein: The New Order, the Old Blood, and the new Colossus. Those three games are fucking amazing. Like those are some
Mhm.
really good old school feeling modern shooters.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like the Doom remake, the Doom reboot. Like those games are just awesome too.
I started Doom 2016 because I got it for free on my old PS4 and just
Mhm.
I don't know why I just stopped playing it and never went back. But I'll have to fix
Something.
that at some point.
It's probably the classic case of something else popped up and then you just kind of got distracted.
Yeah, probably. It's probably one of those deals like when I got Pokemon Sun and then like a week later Dragon Ball Fusions came out, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure is the opposite of most people's experience because I think Dragon Ball Fusions would have done better if it hadn't come out the same week as Pokemon.
See, for me, Pokemon Sun and Moon was I played an hour into it and went, I don't like this, and I just stopped playing it.
See, I was doing okay with it at first, and then when I found out Dragon Ball Fusions was coming out, I was like, yeah, fuck this, I'm playing that because
Mm,
I'd already seen like a little bit of the gameplay and I really liked the style of it and like the idea, like the concept for the game itself.
mm.
Um, so I dumped a ton of time into that. And by the time like I was good on fusions for a while, I was just like, yeah, I don't really feel like going back to Pokemon.
Yeah. That's how I felt with most Pokemon games.
Hmm. And then just from then on, I just had no interest in playing Sun and Moon, or
Yeah.
really most Pokemon games, if being honest.
Yeah.
I've dabbled here and there. Like I played the Gen 4 remake, and I am still technically playing
Arceus.
that no, the Yu-Gi-Oh one,
Oh, right.
the
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh ROM hack of Fire Red. But aside from that, and I do technically still have a file on Black, which I probably should get back to, but
Hmm.
it's just hard for me to get invested in Pokemon again. I don't know why.
We hit the wall, and now it's just hard to get interested again.
It's like if I want to dump a bunch of time into an RPG, I don't want it to be Pokemon.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
But what are you gonna do?
But yeah, we've been going on for about an hour and 20 minutes. Any
Yeah.
final thoughts or
No, I think I hit pretty much all the main ones I wanted to hit.
okay. Yeah, kind of a impromptu episode. Just we're kind of between topics at the moment, so this was kind of just a little something we throw in to get done.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so anyways, that was a good episode. Once again, though, guys, thanks for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site. We can find all sorts of different shows, videos, blogs, and a whole bunch of other shows. I'm not doing I'm not naming them all anymore just because I think people get it at this point. But yeah, there's a ton of awesome shows over here. All great friends of the show.
Finally hit your limit, huh?
Well, it's just getting too long at this point.
Well, I knew that was gonna happen. Aaron keeps inviting more people, which all power to him. I'm not saying we don't want more people, but
Yeah,
making your
I mean,
job harder.
it's great because
Well,
it's just
well, we were planning on implementing like little ads for everybody at some point or another, right? So
yeah.
at some point we're gonna have that.
I have to put those together still. I've been busy with life because
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was anyways though. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.
Have a good one.